Good morning and welcome to your daily morning horoscope for Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. Aries. Regardless of your situation, Aries, you want to take the easy way out. There's a laziness sweeping over you and you could be trying to find a way to sneak out some responsibilities. Even if this idea seems terrific now, it's likely to get you into some trouble later. Be wary of cheating the system and then expecting the full benefits of hard work in return. You'll earn exactly what you deserve. Taurus. You might be frustrated with romance because it seems to be causing more tension than relaxation, Taurus. No one said love was easy, but it doesn't have to be miserable. The key is to not get too stressed about the little things. Know and expect that some things aren't going to match your expectations. You simply have no control over some aspects of a relationship, the other person, for example. Gemini. Your imagination is your best friend, Gemini. You aren't about to let anyone disturb your fantasy world. You have to fit love and romance perfectly into this place and everything is wonderful in your head. Implementing this plan and making it work in the real world are two different things, so try not to get too tied to this idea. Definitely aim to manifest your vision, but don't be unrealistic about it. Cancer. Aggression in your world of romance is likely, Cancer. Whether coming from you or your close partner, the tension is there and can't be ignored. Keep in mind, however, that it's possible that much of it stems from something that isn't even true. Perhaps there was a misspoken word or misunderstanding of some sort that's now causing confusion. Do your best to clear the air of any misconceptions. Leo. You're anxious to make a bold move toward the love of your life, Leo. Love and romance are most certainly in your favor right now. It isn't surprising that you feel brave. Be careful, however, about getting so carried away with your self-assurance that you distort the truth of the situation. There's an element of fantasy operating that's making it difficult for you to see the whole picture. Virgo. Although you generally like to keep both feet on the ground and proceed in a stable, organized manner, Virgo, there's a strong force encouraging you to spread your wings. Incorporate more fantasy into your day and practice the art of dreaming. Liberate yourself from reality for a while and feel the weight lifted from your shoulders. Let your imagination run wild. This will bring a greater sense of balance to your life. Libra. You might be pegged as the wise guy who's unable to take anything seriously, Libra. Regardless of the situation, you can turn it into a joke of some sort. Your humor likely lifts the spirits of everyone around you. Be careful of taking this too far, however. There could be some people who are uncomfortable with your constant jesting. Let them know that you do have a serious side too. Scorpio. One whiff of a familiar scent is likely to send your imagination running wild, Scorpio. Perhaps you're suddenly transported back to when you were dating someone you adored. Once your imagination starts running, it could be difficult to slow it down. Your fantasy world is likely to be the safest place to hide, so don't worry about avoiding reality. Keep playing in the past if that's where you'd rather be today. Sagittarius. You could come into conflict with someone who has a very inclusive attitude, Sagittarius. Perhaps he or she encourages a humanistic approach that you find unrealistic and even a bit off-putting. State exactly how you feel, but make sure you have the facts to back up your point and prepare for a counter-argument. A great deal of fantasy is tossed around as truth, so it's important that you not add to it. Capricorn. Take care of your friends by supporting their ideas, Capricorn. Be careful that you don't automatically encourage a plan or viewpoint that you know is wrong or doomed to fail. Even though you might want to make them feel good by saying exactly what they want to hear, this isn't really doing them any favors. People come up with some wild schemes, so it's important to bring a level-headed perspective to the table. Aquarius. You could be teetering between the real world and the fantasy realm, Aquarius. The fantasy world is more than likely the one that wins out, but that doesn't mean you should lose all touch with reality. If anyone can bridge those two worlds, it's you. You'll probably find yourself drawn to art, which can wonderfully bridge the two. Indeed, your creative juices are gushing like a waterfall today. Pisces. Nurture your loved ones, Pisces. Tonight, feel free to escape into a fantasy world with the object of your desire. Make plans to set your wildest fantasy into motion. Let your imagination lead the way. You will never get where you want to go until you head into that direction. Have confidence that you can turn your dreams into reality. Don't waste another day doing things that don't contribute to your long-term plans. This has been a daily horoscope for Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. Do have yourself an amazing, fantastic day.
and good morning. It's Thursday. Welcome to our morning show here on TBS. My name is Maureen. As usual, we love keeping you in the know. So let's head on over to our news department. They usually help us in that department. Let's see what we're working with over there. Thanks, guys. Let's take a short break. We come right back after this. Yesterday we saw Martha Daniel, and of course she gave us an insight. We touched base about the celebration of their anniversary. That's Castri's Comprehensive, their 52nd anniversary. And as part of that anniversary, something quite unique happened within the FNN department. And Mrs. Khodra, who is the head of that department, well, she had many different things, but it's surrounded hospitality. And it was really, really amazing to see some of the strides that we are making in terms of corporate St. Lucia coming on board and grooming our next set of entrepreneurs who are going to be going out there, our next set of hospitality personnel who are going to be going on out there. So I think that's a real big move in the right direction, and we were happy to learn about it. So we're sharing with you. I'm here at the Castri's Comprehensive School, and we're here with Mrs. Khodra because they're celebrating. Again, it's anniversary time, and you know we always popping a time like that because this is one of the vibrant schools on island, and you know they are responsible for a lot of, you know, the movers and shakers who now forms part of the fabric of St. Lucia, contributing in so many different ways as a well-rounded school, a holistic school. Mrs. Khodra here is in the food and beverage,
food and
nutrition, restaurant and service, that department. And of course, very vital for us because that hospitality is a very big thing here for St. Lucia. St. Lucia has been recognized internationally for its industry and contribution to hospitality and the excellence that happens there as well. So being in the environment where it is all honed, you know, grooming our students as they go on out there to take positions in that regard is not something that is taken lightly at all. And somebody who's spearheading that of Mrs. Khodra right here, definitely somebody to be given flowers because yes, you might see them when they get out there as the top chefs, but it started from here, and we've got to have an appreciation. Mrs. Khodra, we that's a lot, and we could come back and do a whole show on that. But
that is true.
As part of the anniversary, something remarkable happened under your department, and we just wanted to spend some time there with us.
All right, thank you for that.
Right.
Our department, we refer to it as the vocational department, and I am the head of the vocational department as well.
Very well.
What we did was recognize our school during the 52nd anniversary, of which that same month is what we called World Home Economics Day.
Ooh.
Now, World Home Economics Day is the 21st of March.
Okay.
All right? And that falls within the month of the school's anniversary.
Wow.
And what was even more exciting is the fact that the theme was "You are what you eat, feeding the future." And when I saw that theme, I was like, yes, this is an opportunity to share with our students on their eating habits and that the future is theirs. And if they don't take care of themselves, what kind of future would we have?
Yes.
So we had an assembly on the 20th, highlighting the theme, where we had our corporate, our sponsors, our partners on board with us, like It's Alive. We had our doctors who were past students here with us as well.
Wow.
And we had the Caribbean Home Economics Association making a broadcast as well.
Wow.
As well as one of our local chefs in Canada, Miss Pamela Leon-Ford.
Yes.
She's a plant-based chef. She also contributed to that celebration. Then we had the cook-off, which took place on the 27th of March. And that was spectacular. It was really dynamic. It was bigger than I thought.
Yes.
The students were mentored at the different hotels. We had 6 of the hotels, 12 students. They were paired off at the hotels.
Wow.
And they took part in what we call a fabulous fruit and veggie cook-off bearing the theme. And what was also exciting with all of that is that the theme tied together with our Independence Day theme,
Right,
some,
Duforsum.
and remembering who we are, which is the CCSS theme for the 52nd
Oh my
anniversary.
God. Everything is coming together
so nicely. It was so spectacular to see part of the theme being feeding the future, how these hotels and the chefs, just saying thank you to them is not even enough.
Yes.
How they rallied around this and took these students into their hotels,
Yes.
giving them everything that they required and of their time. And you know how chefs are so busy at the hotels.
Yes.
And these hotels accommodated the children.
That's right.
And we also had the other partners, the sponsors, who assisted as well. So I am so happy how this turned out.
Is it the first time that you've had it on such a magnitude or
First
such a
time on such a magnitude. Off and on, we asked the hotels to come in. Chef Nigel at Sandals, close by, comes off and on when we call for assistance. And Chef Orlando has been with us from inception. Anytime we have an activity, he's there with us.
Nice.
So hats off to them for partnering with us.
Right.
And I can truly see that this activity, they were feeding the future. As the theme said, you are what you eat.
Yes.
Feeding the future.
Yes.
Oh, they touched those students.
And how do you hope that would have impacted your students as they
Well,
head on out into that field?
As
in that
they
world?
head on out, it makes them look at the bigger picture, which is the future.
Yes.
How do I see myself in that future? Especially with the chefs, they're supporting them, encouraging them. It makes you feel like, we really need to get out of the classroom with the students. And that is what I always want to do. Take them out. Yes. The learning is not only in the classroom, but out there.
You've got to have the balance. And in the way the things are setting up itself now, being able to have that hands-on experience, it's definitely a vital part of it.
Very much
from
so.
yourself now, heading that and as an educator, looking forward to the future. And we spend a lot of time, we mentioned that a lot, looking forward to the future and this particular program here at the school. I'm sure you have a lot of ideas and know how passionate you are about it. After what happened, what transpired this year, you must have some thoughts in mind as to what you would like next year to look like.
One of my main thoughts is that SLHTA, Ministry of Tourism, will be here. They're listening.
They'll hear from you.
They are listening. They have been hearing from me. I have been trying to get my restaurant service students out of the classroom. I teach restaurant service. It's a NVQ, National Vocational Qualification subject.
Nice.
That we have a unit updating hospitality industry knowledge. And I'm always reaching out to them to see how I can get them to get my students out there to see what we're offering the tourists.
Yes.
Some of the students, they don't go anywhere. Their parents don't have the time.
Right.
Even as a child growing up, my parents never said, well, let's go to the Sulphur Springs. Let's go here and see that. So as a school, I am looking at the fact that they're doing the restaurant service, and the idea is that in the restaurant service, you will meet guests, you will meet tourists who would ask you, where's the best place to go in St. Lucia? Where can I go and do this? That they can say, let's go down by Sugar Beach. You will be standing right in the midst of the
they know how to sell the thing.
That's right. So I am so looking forward to them coming on board with me and taking these children out of the classroom to see really what St. Lucia has to offer, so they know how to sell us.
Absolutely.
And sometimes just seeing what the country really has to offer, it would play on their minds, and they would, think of becoming bigger things.
That's right. I totally agree with that.
Feeding that future.
I am so happy that you were able to realize, because I know how passionate, I know how much you put into it. So I'm very glad that was able to happen for you this year. And let's hope that's not the end. And you know what?
No, we're looking
like I said, persons are listening.
So the persons listening,
yes,
partner with us, come on board with us. Let's feed that future, our students.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you again and happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And again, we love to do our follow-up. So this feature here, we zeroed in on one of the participants. I don't know if you remembered, we covered under the JCI banner, there was a young lady, one of the leaders, who put on a conference, a leadership conference actually, and it actually happened this week. And we went up there and we met with one of the participants, because it's very vital for us to follow through to make sure that, things that we are putting our support behind is actually, taking root. And we spoke to one of the participants, and it would appear that we made a good choice by supporting something of that sort and giving them some ear. So here's one of the participants from that conference. Well, I did promise you we're going to be tapping into one of the participants, because yes, they get us excited. We brought you that information. We always like to do follow-up to ensure that, they're actually realizing what it is they set out to realize. So I'm here with Johann. Johann is one of the participants of the conference that happens, the first conference under the JCI St. Lucia banner, spearheaded by one of the leaders in the JCI membership. Johann, you look smiling from the time I reached, so things look like it's good.
Yes,
Tell me about being involved, and what were some of the things that you're expecting coming out of this conference? Why did you decide to attend? Why did you get involved?
Well, we were invited by
Great.
them to attend the conference. I did a little research, and I spoke with Ms. Lubin in terms of what was expected and what the outcome should have been.
Right.
And it sounded very interesting, so we decided to take part, myself and one of my colleagues.
Okay.
We are here today.
Right. Well, we reached a little late, so you've been there in the morning session already, so you're going to have to give us a little insight. Is it panning out to be what you expected, or a little more than it? What are you gathering from?
It is. First of all, it has been very interactive, which is very good.
Right.
We have persons from different sectors.
Nice.
So we have varying opinions,
Right.
contributions, and we are learning from each other. And this is what I think the end product is supposed to
Right.
be. How to move forward as leaders, and things that can help us, along those lines, how we can impact others and encourage general leadership.
Right.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you probably got exposed to in there that you said, okay, yeah. It probably wasn't something that was on your radar at all. And just by being in the room and persons sharing ideas and, interacting, maybe something came up that you said, okay, yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah.
Well, I think generally for me, listening to everybody, I'm speaking in a broad sense, that persons are now pulling out for them what they really have, what they can contribute.
Right.
And some, qualities and skills maybe they figure were dormant or were not, contributing to leadership. Now realize that, it's a wholesome experience,
Right.
putting everything together.
How vital you think it is? You're in the space, you're interacting. Sometimes you hear a lot about the workers, and we hear a lot about the people. Leadership is not necessarily just in the workplace as well.
That's correct.
Leadership can be any form. You could be a leader in any way, any form,
way,
anyway.
yes.
Do you believe, from your interaction in the space in St. Lucia, we need more of those where we continue to help persons to realize their true potential as leaders, better ground persons who hold or who consider themselves in leadership roles, to be a little bit more guided in sometimes some of the ways and means and that they use? Do you think that we
Most definitely. The leaders should lead,
Yes.
technically, in terms of guidance and encouragement. And those who are aspiring to be leaders should, embrace the opportunities, do little courses, participate in those types of seminars and
Right.
so on. So I think at the end of the day, we have to take responsibility for our own growth.
That's
and
right.
if we see ourselves as leaders or future leaders,
Yes.
that we should take any opportunity to do so.
I love this. What's the take home for you? You'd encourage someone that is
I
out there to be a part of
definitely-
something of that sort, innit?
Yes, it was very interactive, like I said. We have met a few wonderful ladies, and I hope,
Nice.
in the future, at least we can,
Yes.
still get together. And I would definitely encourage anyone to participate in any future seminars
That's
or
right.
workshops they may have, or any others that may, encourage them to become better persons.
Thank you so much.
You're
Well, you have
welcome.
your afternoon session to go on in. Enjoy the rest of it.
I will.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And a couple of Thursdays back, we were bringing the series of Relay for Life leading up to the actual event. The event has passed and it has come. It was definitely a success, and obviously we've got to do some reviews from the organizer's standpoint. So Dr. Remy is going to give us like a synopsis of what she believed or how she rates Relay for Life 2026. Well, obviously, we were in your ears and in your spaces when we were leading up to Relay for Life, and of course, rightfully so. The event has come.
Yes.
The event has gone.
Yes, it has.
And we really want to know
happy.
what's your thoughts. Yes.
I'm happy. I'm tired.
I know.
But I'm
you can get some
happy.
rest now, I hope.
Not yet.
I know about that.
Not yet. Trying to wrap up.
But let's break down.
Yes.
The hard work was worth it. It paid off.
Definitely. I had survivors come up to me and say, Doc, thank you. We got to experience what the event was really about. Thank you for... And when she said thank you, and when they said thank you, it was to the society and to our committee members and planners and volunteers, just for the experience and for the support.
Absolutely.
And for always wanting to do things, you know, for the support.
Come on now.
I have no idea what the broadcast looked like, right, in terms of DBS.
Yeah.
I was able to sit down. That was the only time I sat down with Miriam and had an interview. That's the only time I sat down.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping that the viewers got to experience a little bit of what was actually going on the field.
Right.
So I think definitely to the participants, to the survivors, it was an experience. And I think every year we build on the fact that once you've attended the relay, that you want to come back.
Right.
And so we're hoping that each year new persons experience it and bring a friend, bring family, etc.
Nice.
Some persons actually said to me, we thought it was Sunday, despite us saying Saturday, because I think the first time we did it, it was actually on a Sunday. So we're going to actually look at the pros and cons of either day,
the days.
And just see.
There's always room for adjustments moving forward. Certainly.
Yes.
But you know what? I was unable to attend, but I heard that it was great, and I'm